say what you want about Apple, but they do make some okay stuff. I've got the Airpods, and I prefer actually using these compared to the wired ones because I've actually broken more headphones than I care to admit to. Working in the lab, I'll walk by and I'll have the cords snag on a chair, snag on a bench. It got to the point where I was almost ruining my headphone jack itself. Like the headphones I had, which they may have been broken too, but the sound would kind of cut out if I moved it a certain way. So they were dying at that point, and I figured to save further damage to my phone, I should actually look into a wireless solution. So the options are kind of varied at this point, with varying levels of, I don't know, acceptability as far as battery life, sound quality, things like that. So I figured I'd just go for the Apple ones. I don't know anybody that actually has them other than myself and my group of people. But my review on these will basically be a perspective from somebody that's not really a fanboy of Apple in particular. I just happen to be in that phone ecosystem and have been for a couple of years at this point. I have no loyalty to them whatsoever. If something's crap, I'll tell you it's crap. These are actually okay. Battery life on them is surprisingly good. I'll get about 4 to 5 hours of listening time on them, and mostly I use them at work because, again, the aforementioned cord snagging issue, and it'll get me through the entire day because the little case that it comes with, it also charges it, and it charges them very quickly too. You can get up to, from a completely dead earbud, about 50% battery on them again in less than 15 minutes. So pretty much anytime you have to take them out and not listen to something, just pop them back into the case and they'll be fully charged, and you will have no issues for the entire day listening wirelessly. The case battery itself will actually last a couple of days. So for the main concern I think most people have with these is battery life. Battery life is not really an issue with these, especially given the fact that, you do have to carry an extra thing around, but I found that actually fits in the kind of pocket knife pocket. At least on guys' jeans. Women, you are probably screwed because your pockets can't even hold a phone. Have fun with that. But from a day-to-day use, the sound quality on them is no worse than the standard Apple headphones that they come with. I've really enjoyed these headphones. I don't think I can actually go back to wired headphones at this point, at least for something on the go. The next question people would have is, do they fall out? If the regular ones don't, these won't either. The only time I've managed to actually knock these out of my ear is when I physically hit them with my hand, like taking on putting on a hoodie or a sweater or something. Other than that, I've never had them just fall out. So I haven't tried running with them yet, so that may be something, a different issue, to where I might want to get the little over the ear kind of like condom looking hooky thing that'll keep it more secure. But at day-to-day use, not an issue. I have found very few faults with these. The only complaint that I can really have is they are expensive. You're looking at about, I think, $150, $160 for these. It's kind of steep. But they work, so it's kind of okay to justify. If they were in the $90 range, these would be an absolute no-brainer for at least anybody with an iPhone. I have not tried these with a non-iPhone, and from what I've read, that kind of can be hit or miss at best. But as far as the integration with the iPhone itself, it works fantastically. Uh, I really do use the absolute piss out of these. Phone call quality, because they both have microphones in the bottom of the actual bud. It's also where it charges from. Is really good. I've called people and asked them, if I sounded weird or anything, and nobody really could tell a difference. That I was not talking just straight on the phone, but was in fact talking through the headphones. Now the call battery life is significantly shorter at about, I think, 2 hours. I've never had it be an issue as far as battery life, because I don't ever talk on the phone that long, and I don't really know anybody else that does either. If you really had to, I suppose you could use just one of them at a time if you were on a particularly long call. But they work fine for that. I've got no complaints and no regrets with the overall experience of having these things. I would actually highly recommend them if you are looking for a wireless headphone set for your phone, especially if you have an Apple phone. They work really well. You double tap it to access Siri. I hardly actually touch my phone for the most part, especially because I hate the radio in my car. It's a early 2000s piece of junk, so it really doesn't have any features like CarPlay, or I can't even play MP3s at this point. Can't hook my phone up to it, etc. So I'll typically listen to podcasts while I'm driving, and it's nice just to have the wireless aspect of these and just leave the phone in my pocket, or dash mount it or whatever, and not have this cord running to my head and trying to steer and do all the things that you do when you're driving. Particularly good if you want Waze voice directions without it blaring through the car if you've got other people in there, etc. Overall, I would say get these if you can afford them. I don't know of any Generation 2 rumors for these, but it will be curious to see what they do. Having to tap to access Siri is kind of annoying. I wish there was some sort of physical control on them too for volume, because you have to either say, "Hey Siri," to do volume adjustments, which is not great. Because how loud or quiet does it know that I want it? If a particularly good song comes on, I'll want to turn it up a couple clicks instead of just the incremental advancement that it'll do via Siri. So you're left using your phone physical buttons to do that, which, okay. Overall, though, these are well worth the buy. Granted, I don't have a broad experience with any other wireless headphones, because these are the only pair I've got. And I'm still looking for a decent, actually, gaming headset. I think I'm probably going to get the Arctis 7, but that's for a different video if and whenever I get around to doing that. So if you're on the fence about these, get them. There really is no significant downside other than the hit to your wallet. Now, another final note on these: the first pair I had, this is not the first pair. One of the headbuds actually died. It just refused to keep charging. So, and it was within I want to say the first 5 to 6 weeks or so of owning them. It died fairly quick. So I just went into Best Buy and exchanged them. I was talking to the people there. I was like, "Hey, have you had anybody else come in with this problem? Have you seen anybody else with this issue?" And they hadn't seen anybody. And I would imagine they sell quite a few of these, but they could have just been, not giving a crap and not telling me the whole truth. But I'm inclined to believe them. They had no reason to lie. And the second pair has been working flawlessly for months now. I've lived with these on a pretty much day-to-day basis for probably a good 4 or 5 months at this point, and I use them daily. Anywhere I go, I bring them with me. They're really, really good. So if you want them, go get them. You won't regret it.